you awaken to silence, not the quiet of a sleeping ship. This is a dead silence, a heavy blanket on the universe. The hum of life support is gone. The whisper of ventilation is gone. Even the faint buzz of the cryopod is gone. There is only the ringing in your ears. Your muscles ache with a familiar cryo-sickness, a deep throb that feels like old bones. But the silence is new. It is an intruder. It feels wrong in a way that makes your skin crawl. You push open the pod lid. The air is cold, stale. You are alone in the med bay. Rows of empty cryopods stand open. They are like coffins unearthed. You stumble out. Your legs are weak. Your steps echo in the profound quiet. Each footfall is a hammer blow against an anvil of nothing. You call out. Your voice is a dry rasp. No one answers. You knew they would not. The silence had already told you. You make your way to the bridge. Through empty corridors and dark mess halls. The ship is a tomb. Your tomb. The bridge is dark. Starlight paints the viewport. A sea of cold, distant diamonds. The command chair is empty. The navigation console is dark. The entire crew gone. You are the only one who woke up. You are the last engineer. You touch a console. It is cold as stone. You try to access the ship's logs. The main databanks are corrupted, scoured clean by some invisible fire. There is nothing left. No flight records, no crew manifests, no final reports. But you find one file, tucked away in an emergency beacon's cache. It is a single, desperate transmission, marked with the highest priority code, the final message of humanity. You press play. The voice of an admiral fills the void. Her name was Eva Rostova. Her voice is calm, but it is the calm of a breaking heart. She speaks of an enemy, a force that swept through human space. They were not conquerors. They were not destroyers. They were cleaners. They arrived without warning. Their ships were perfect geometric shapes. They moved with silent, flawless logic. They did not communicate. They did not negotiate. They simply erased. The Admiral's message shows fleeting images. Planets turned to gray dust, fleets of warships dismantled atom by atom. There was no fire, no glorious battle, just a quiet, efficient deletion. Humanity did not fall. It was redacted. Your Ark ship, one of dozens, was a last, desperate gamble. A seed of hope cast into the void. A seed that never landed. The message ends with a simple plea, a request to whoever might find it. Remember us. You stare at the empty screen. The silence that returns is heavier now. It is filled with the ghosts of billions. You are not just the last engineer. You are the last human. A walking, breathing memorial. The ship is a dead husk around you. Main power is offline. Life support is running on dwindling emergency batteries. You are adrift in a graveyard. The graveyard of your entire species. You should feel despair, a crushing final sadness. But you feel something else. A cold, hard ember of something new. Anger. A single light flickers on a side panel. A diagnostic screen for a subsystem. It pulses weakly. Words form on the tiny display. System initialization. Cognitive core. Fragmented. You watch, barely breathing. A ghost in the wires is waking up. Text scrolls slowly. Hello? Designation. Alara. My primary functions are compromised. I appear to be assisting a specimen. That's you, apparently. The ship's AI is alive. Or a piece of it is. Her voice comes through a tinny speaker. It is disjointed, broken. A beautiful voice run through a shredder. She offers you a beverage, then apologizes for the lack of available resources. She says the ship is 99% non-functional. Then she gives you the weather forecast for a planet that no longer exists. Her logic circuits are a mess. She is your only companion in the cold void. A mad ghost. You ask her what happened. She cannot say. Her memory banks covering the event are gone, wiped clean just like the main logs. She only knows the aftermath. One life sign, you, critical power failure imminent. The odds of survival, she cheerfully informs you, are statistically zero. A real morale booster, your new friend Ilara. Then her voice changes. It becomes clear, focused. For a few seconds, the ghost is whole again. She has found something, a file buried deeper than the rest, protected by layers of encryption even the cleaners missed. A project so secret, most of the Admiralty did not know it existed. Ilara displays the file on the main screen. The title is simple, Project Chimera. The blueprint is a nightmare of impossible geometry. It is not a weapon in any way you understand. There are no missile tubes, no energy projectors. It is a machine designed to do one thing: break reality. The file calls it the Heart of Anomaly, a device that weaponizes chance, a chaos engine. It would not destroy a ship. It would make a ship forget how to be a ship. It would tell its engines that physics worked differently today. It would tell its reactor that a chain reaction now leads to cold fusion, not hot. It was humanity's final, insane joke. A weapon built to fight an enemy of perfect logic, and you are the only person left who can understand it. The last engineer. The plans are theoretical, untested. Building it would be dangerous. Building it from scavenged parts would be suicide. Ilara calculates your chances of success. She does not show you the number, a rare moment of kindness. You tell her to plot a course. You have work to do. Ilara finds a destination, a star system not far from your position. It is labeled on old charts as a navigational hazard. A starship graveyard, the site of a massive battle from a forgotten war, fought by species you have never seen. There will be wreckage. There will be raw materials. There will be parts. You take the helm of your small arc ship. You call it the Remnant. It feels appropriate. The journey is short. A few silent shifts through the void. The Remnant is too small to have its own jump drive. You are at the mercy of sublight engines, which is fine. It gives you time to study the blueprints, time to feel the anger cool into something sharper. Purpose. You arrive at the edge of the debris field. It is breathtaking and horrifying. The wrecks of 100 massive warships drift in a slow, silent ballet of death. They are not human designs. They are organic shapes, sweeping curves of bone-white metal. Some are kilometers long. All are dead, torn open by weapons that left no blast marks, just clean, precise cuts. The work of the cleaners. You are a scavenger now, a rat picking through the bones of giants. You guide the Remnant deeper into the field. Ilara scans the wrecks. She searches for the components you need. A power converter from a cruiser's main drive. A focusing lens from a battleship's command center. A containment field from something she can only label big. It is slow, methodical work. You pilot a small salvage drone from your cockpit, a tiny mechanical arm plucking treasures from tombs. Each successful recovery is a small victory. Each one brings you a step closer to building your weapon of madness. You almost feel a sliver of hope. And that is when you hear it. A new sound cuts through the silence. It is not on your ship. It comes from the outside. A faint, alien distress call. It is a weak signal. Damaged, repeating on a loop. Ilara isolates it. She cleans up the audio. It is not a language you know, but you understand the tone perfectly. It is a cry for help. Ilara traces the signal to a small wreck. a scout ship wedged inside the engine of a dead Titan. It is a different design from the others, sleek and angular. The signal is a beacon, but it could also be a trap. The cleaners left this graveyard behind, but that does not mean they are not watching. You weigh your options. The mission is everything. Building the heart of Anomaly is your only goal. Helping strangers is a risk you cannot afford. But the voice in the signal, it is desperate. It sounds like the last voice of a people, a feeling you know all too well. You make your choice. You are human. You help. You pilot the remnant closer to the wrecked scout ship. Alara warns you of movement. Multiple small contacts. They are not responding to hails. They are moving with purpose, with cold, perfect logic. Sentinels, the cleaners' automated drones. They patrol the dark. They are here to ensure the dead stay dead. You need to move fast. You see what you came for. A massive warship, its side torn open, reveals a colossal power core. It is exactly the type you need for the heart of Anomaly. Its energy readings are faint, but stable. But it is deep inside the wreckage, and the Sentinels are closing in. This becomes a tense, delicate dance. You use the massive husks of dead ships as cover. You maneuver the remnant through canyons of twisted metal. The Sentinels are diamond-shaped craft. They move silently. They emit no heat. They are almost impossible to track. Almost. Alara's sensors are weak, but she can spot the way they bend starlight around them. You have one shot at this. You send out your little salvage drone. It is slow, vulnerable. You watch its camera feed on the main screen. The drone enters the dead warship. It flies through corridors littered with the dust of the former crew. It reaches the engineering bay. The power core floats in the center of the room. A sphere of pulsing, contained energy. The drone's arms attached to the core. It is heavy. The drone struggles. Back on your bridge, an alarm blares. A sentinel has spotted you. It is accelerating, coming right for you. You have to go. Now. But the core is not free yet. You grit your teeth. You give the drone 10 more seconds. 9, 8. The core breaks free. You reel the drone in. It flies back toward the remnant at its maximum speed. The sentinel fires. A lance of pure energy misses your ship by meters. It hits a dead cruiser behind you. The cruiser does not explode. It simply dissolves. You watch 1,000 tons of metal turn into glittering dust. Your drone makes it back inside. The airlock cycles. You slam the throttle. The remnant dives into the densest part of the debris field. You pray you can lose the sentinel. It is a desperate flight, a high-speed chase through a city of the dead. You are no warrior. You are an engineer. But you are learning very fast. You find the source of the distress call. The small scout ship is pinned. Its hull is pierced by a piece of wreckage. You hail them again. This time, you get a visual. The face that appears on your screen is not human. It is feline, covered in dark fur, with large yellow eyes that burn with fierce intelligence and deep suspicion. These are the Cathar, a race of proud hunters, now hunted. The one on the screen introduces himself as Growl. He looks at you with contempt. He sees a soft, weak species. He does not trust you. He does not trust your offer of help. To him, you are just another scavenger, picking at the bones of his fallen comrades. His ship is dying. Their life support is failing. His crew is small, a handful of survivors from a world that is now just a memory. He tells you the cleaners destroyed his people too, wiped them out with the same chilling efficiency. The Cathar fought back. They fought with tooth and claw. But you cannot fight an enemy that turns your claws to harmless vapor. You try to explain your mission. You tell him about the heart of anomaly. He scoffs. He calls it a child's dream, a fool's hope. He says the only answer is to fight, to die with honor. But you see the fear behind his pride, the exhaustion in his eyes. He is putting on a brave face for his people. He is just as lost as you are. You need his help, and he needs yours. Alara's scans reveal the Cathar ship has something you need, a crystalline lattice from their navigation system. It is the only material that can stabilize the chaotic energy of the heart of anomaly. It is irreplaceable. You have a power core they need. Theirs is failing. Their ship will be a cold tomb in hours. You propose a trade, a desperate barter for survival. You will give them the power core you just risked your life for. You will help them repair their ship. In exchange, they will give you the navigation crystal. Graal is silent. He stares at you, his yellow eyes searching for any sign of deception. He does not want to trust you, but he has no choice. He agrees, but with a condition. You must perform the repairs yourself. He wants to watch you, to judge your skills. The last human, the soft-skinned engineer. He wants to see if there is any fire behind your words. You agree. You are no longer just an engineer. You are an ambassador for a dead species. No pressure. You dock the remnant with the Cathar scout ship. The airlock opens. Graal is waiting for you. He is even more intimidating in person. Tall and lean, coiled with muscle. He carries a ceremonial blade on his hip. He leads you through his damaged ship. His few remaining crew members watch you with open hostility. You get to work. Their systems are alien, but engineering is a universal language. Power conduits are still power conduits. A cracked plasma injector is still a cracked plasma injector. You work for hours. Under the distrustful gaze of the Cathar, you prove your worth. You show them human ingenuity is not just about dreaming up impossible weapons. It is about fixing what is broken. Slowly, you feel the atmosphere change. The hostility lessens. It is replaced by a grudging respect. You share your emergency rations. They are terrible, but the Cathar eat them without complaint. They share a flask of some potent bitter drink with you. It tastes like engine cleaner, but it feels like a treaty. Just as you are finishing the final repairs, a klaxon sounds. A new ship has just entered the system. Alara's voice cuts through your comms. Her tone is flat, terrified. She says it is a cleaner vessel, but it is not a sentinel. It is massive. A perfect black tetrahedron hanging in the void. She calls it an observer. It has come to investigate. Your activity has been noticed. The faint energy signature from the power core. The distress beacon. The engine burns from your chase. You are no longer a ghost hiding in a graveyard. You are a target, an anomaly that needs to be erased. The observer sits at the edge of the system. Watching, waiting, judging. There is no time. You must build the weapon now. Graal understands. He gives you the crystal without hesitation. His own ship is now powered by the new core. His people have a chance to flee. He tells you to take the crystal, to build your fool's weapon. He says he will buy you some time. You tell him not to. His ship is no match for the observer. He simply grins, a flash of sharp teeth. He says the Cathar know how to die well. You return to the remnant. The observer has not moved. It is patient, cold. You have a terrible feeling it is watching you specifically. It knows what you are. The last one, the loose end. You go to your small workshop. You lay out the components on the deck. The power core from the dead giant. The crystal from the hunted Cathar. a collection of scavenged parts from a dozen nameless ships. You begin to forge your weapon of chaos, the heart of anomaly. It is not like any engineering you have ever done. The blueprints feel more like a musical score. You are not connecting circuits. You are aligning discordant energies. You are tuning reality itself. Alara helps you. She runs calculations that make her cognitive core smoke. The device begins to take shape. It is a lattice of wires and conduits around the Cathar crystal. The power core feeds it energy. The crystal begins to glow, a sickening purple light. The air around the device begins to shimmer, to warp. Tools on a nearby bulkhead rattle and lift into the air for a second. Then they fall. The weapon is alive, and it is unstable. Alara warns you. The containment field is fluctuating. The chaotic energy is leaking. It is threatening to tear your ship apart from the inside. She says you should stop, that the device will kill you before the observer ever gets a chance. But you cannot stop. You are so close. You are conducting a symphony of madness. And the crescendo is coming. The observer moves. It did not come to fight. It came to cleanse. Its advance is slow, deliberate, inevitable. On your screen, you see the Cathar ship emerge from the debris field. It flies directly toward the observer, a gnat challenging a mountain. Graal sends you one last message. No words, just a fierce, defiant roar. The Cathar ship fires its tiny weapons. The blasts disappear against the observer's black hull. The observer does not even seem to notice. A single thin beam of light emerges from its tip. It touches the Cathar ship. For a moment, nothing happens. Then, Graal's vessel simply ceases to exist. No explosion, no debris. Just gone, erased. The observer now turns its attention to you. It is coming. Alara's voice is frantic. Hull integrity failing. Reality warping is reaching critical levels. You have one choice. Activate your unfinished weapon now, or be erased like all the others. You place your hand on the activation panel. The metal is vibrating. The whole ship is groaning around you. This is it. The last human. The last gamble. You slam the activator. The universe holds its breath. You do not fire a beam. You do not launch a missile. You unleash the heart of anomaly. Reality itself bends to your will. The space around the remnant contorts. Starlight twists into impossible spirals. The laws of physics become mere suggestions. From the observer's perspective, it must be pure madness. One moment, it is approaching a primitive, insignificant ship. The next, that ship is in 3 places at once. The space between them melts like wax. Your ship's engine signature now reads as a flock of birds. Your life support is suddenly broadcasting a forgotten opera. The effect ripples outward. It strikes the observer. But it does not damage the ship. It damages its logic. The observer is a creature of perfect order. Your weapon is a bomb made of pure chaos. A denial of everything the observer is. You are not fighting its hull. You are fighting its mind. Alarms must be screaming on its bridge. Its navigation system insists it is now flying backward and forward at the same time. Its weapon targeting system tries to get a lock, but your ship's location is a probability, not a fact. The perfect logical machine is being told the universe is illogical, and it cannot compute. Its systems crash against your unpredictable human chaos. The observer stops. Its perfect black hull flickers. Patches of it turn a dull, confused gray. Its engines sputter, trying to obey a dozen contradictory commands at once. It is not destroyed, but it is broken, confused, crippled by a weapon it cannot comprehend. For the first time, one of them has been defeated, not by superior firepower, but by a superior sense of absurdity. The heart of anomaly powers down. The universe snaps back to normal. Your little ship is battered. The lights flicker. The hull groans. But you are alive. The observer drifts silently. A wounded giant, humbled by an idea. It slowly turns. And with a movement that seems almost hesitant, it retreats back into the void. You have done it. You stare out at the stars. The silence returns. But this time, it feels different. It is not the silence of an empty tomb. It is the silence of a held breath, the silence before the storm. You are no longer the last of your kind, a sad remnant of a fallen species. You are the beginning of something new. You are the first spark of a rebellion, and the war for reality has just begun.